Alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlilhu fala hadiya lahu wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu amma ba'd. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. ونزلنا عليك الكتاب تبيانا لكل شيء وهدى ورحمة وبشرى للمسلمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سنريهم آياتنا في الآفاق وفي أنفسهم حتى يتبين لهم أنه الحق صدق الله العظيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As I had intended and stated in my previous address that we will be speaking about global events, those events which have specific Islamic eschatological significance, and we will try or attempt to record the most important event for the day. So if you have read newspapers today, you may have come across the news, and we will not only narrate to you the news, but we will give you the link, the Islamic eschatological link with the news, and how we sort of connect the dots. So the news that we are interested in today is about the ISIS group. The ISIS group, which you may already be aware, it's creating quite a nuisance in the Middle East and defaming the name of Islam. It has given an ultimatum to the minority Yazidi community of Iraq and has given them an ultimatum to accept Islam or face death. This is completely against the principles of Islam, the religion which has in its code, the Quran, a specific verse which says, La ikraha fid din, let there be no compulsion in religion. This is from Surah or chapter of Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 256. If this is the injunction of the Quran, how can the ISIS group possibly be correct in its approach? In fact, it's not. If they do not have this basic and fundamental understanding of Islam, then who are they to claim to re-establish the Khilafah? To be honest, it's absolutely clear it's a big joke. It's a big joke in the name of Islam. Basically, the ISIS group is not a Muslim group. Yes, let me just differentiate between the two terms. This group is not an Islamic group. Does this group contain within its elements Muslims? Yes, they do contain members who are Muslims, or at least the members, at least they themselves think that they are Muslims. The ISIS, it is very clear that it's a Zionist ploy, it's a Zionist agenda, serving Zionist objectives, serving its Zionist masters. The members may not even know that the person whom they consider to be their Khalifa, the bogus, the nonsense Khalifa, a person who goes by the name Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, The members, as I said, may not even know that this person may be a Jew, this person may be a Zionist. Islam, the House of Islam, has witnessed a period of almost close to 100 years since the dismantling of the Khilafah in 1924. So when people heard the news, that the Khilafah is being reestablished, what they did out of their love for the institution of Khilafah, they rushed forth to give their oath of allegiance or the pledge of allegiance to the Khalifa, the bogus Khalifa. In the process, the Zionists have been very successful in fooling the minds of the innocent Muslims who were otherwise indoctrinated and brainwashed into extremism to adopt this as a platform which seems to restore the Khilafah, which seems to them to restore, or at least make an attempt to restore, the Khilafah. This group has been working for about 2 years, maybe more than that, but it announced the Khalifa, it announced Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi as the Khalifa on the first of this Ramadan for specific reasons. This is what is called PSYOPs, psychological operations, psychological warfare, playing with the emotions of the people. So they have decided specifically to launch, or rather to announce, the Khalifa in the first of Ramadan. The month of Ramadan being very special and close to heart of every Muslim. The name of ISIS itself, they may call it whatever they want, the Islamic State, ISIS, the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, or the Islamic State of Iraq and Sham. They may call it whatever they want. It is in fact a carefully designed, a carefully chosen acronym, ISIS, which is pronounced as ISIS. It's very carefully chosen. It is actually in reference to Isis, the mother of Horus. Horus, I hope you remember Horus, the Egyptian sun god. The Egyptian sun god. Isis is the mother of Horus, and this Horus is associated with the one-eye symbolism. What we Muslims associate with the Dajjal, it's all the same. So they have chosen this name very carefully, very strategically. In fact, this is a way of announcing very subtly to the entire world of their faith in their strategies and of their faith to be able to fool the Muslims as well as humanity at large, and they are being hugely successful in their strategies and attempts and approaches. This group has nothing to do with Islam, nothing to do with the Khilafah, nothing to do with the re-establishment of the Khilafah. Yes, the people who have joined ISIS from various parts of the world, they are such big fools, they don't realize, as although it is as clear as daylight, that the killing of human beings for their religious affiliations is not allowed in Islam. A clear injunction in the Quran itself, Surah Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 256. What more clear injunction can there possibly be other than a verse of the Quran? When a verse of the Quran exists, what bigger proof, what greater proof do you need? It's absolutely plain and clear. There is no compulsion in religion for your religious affiliations. The only thing that we can do is inform them, address them, pass on the message of Islam to them, and that's it. After that, it's up to them whether to accept or whether to reject the religion of Islam. If they accept, it is for their own good. It does not do us any good that we should be chasing after them like fools and predators and dinosaurs. We just have to deliver the message of Islam, that's it. Then it's their choice. If they accept Islam, it's for their own good. If they do not accept Islam, if they prefer to remain as non-Muslims, then they do not harm Muslims. They harm only themselves. And their accountability is with their Lord, with our Lord, with the Lord of all the worlds, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they will be judged accordingly on the day of judgment. What nonsense is this, giving an ultimatum, either accept Islam or face death? This is absolutely ridiculous, nonsensical, and once again proves the bogus and blatant nonsense which they have been uttering since the month of Ramadan about their cry of Khilafah and the re-establishment of Khilafah. So this is the news today. It's absolutely a Zionist ploy to defame Muslims. They have used so-called Muslim, seemingly Muslim frontman to project Islam as something evil, and they're being very successful in that. I don't have anything more to say about this. It's very clear, it's absolutely clear what I wanted to convey, and I think the analysis is pretty simple. It's nothing complicated. So that's it for now. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alamin.